Hey guys, it's Alex, and as promised, let's talk about the first date I went on after getting over a breakup. So you're very vulnerable, and you don't realize this. You think you're very macho, you think you're very strong, you think I'm just gonna sling this dick around and everything's gonna be fine. And after a little while, you kind of want to connect with someone. So the first date I went on was with someone that I had never come across before. I had never come across a South American woman that was light skinned, blue eyes, black hair, tall. Spanish was her first language and had the cutest accent on the planet. Threw me for a loop because I didn't think I'd ever go for that type. So, of course, you're nervous. You meet this person and you're instantly struck by their beauty. And that is like the overriding factor. And you're not really listening to their words. You're just like, oh my God, this girl is amazing. So the date went pretty well. We went somewhere local to eat and had a very general, basic first date. Anytime I go on a first date, I make it very general, very basic. I do not overcomplicate things. Why? Number one, I am not going to pay $70 to $80 to find out that you are a psychopath and that we do not match. Number two, 9 times out of 10, a phone call, you can do a lot of the filtering, but this person in particular did not. So I used the first date to filter to see if this person can make it to the next level, which is date number 2. So the date went really well. It lasted a very long time. We had a quick bite, we went for a walk. It ended up extending into dinner time, and we had an amazing time. When it came time to take her home, I walked her home because she lived in downtown West Palm Beach, literally right in the middle of the strip of downtown West Palm. Very nice area. And I went in for it. Usually I have found out really quickly, guys, don't ask for a kiss. Don't ask for a kiss. Go in for a kiss. And be prepared to potentially be rejected. Be prepared to potentially be rejected. But at least make your intentions well known. Make your intentions well known that I am attracted to you and I want to give you a kiss. If the woman is not attracted to you, she's not going to give you a kiss. If she has these rules in place that mean I'm not going to kiss on the second date, I'm sorry, you're probably not that into me. So that's the way I look at it. I went in for a kiss and I got a kiss back. I was very happy about that. So that was on a Saturday. So I said, when can I see you again? She said, tomorrow. I went, that is very good. That's a very, very good sign. I was into her. She was into me. The kissing was great. Chemistry was good. Let's go to date number 2. Following day, we decided to meet up for lunch. And around the second date is when I think they start to loosen up. And you start to loosen up and you really start to figure out who they are and if they're compatible with you. So we start talking and you can tell that she's now letting her hair down and be comfortable with you and say things that she probably generally wouldn't say. Started talking a little bit about her past relationships. I'm very keen on talking about their past relationship. Some people don't like that. Some people think that's a no-go zone, but I want to know where you came from, what you've done, and what experiences you've experienced. So I asked her, when was the last time you were in a relationship? She said, like a year ago. I said, how long did that last? She said, 2 months. I don't count that as a relationship. To me, at least 6 or 7 months is a relationship. She said 2 months. I said, well, what was your longest relationship ever? She said, 1 year. 1 year. That struck me because I was in a 10 and a 5. This woman was 42 years old. I was 40 at the time. And she said, 1 year. So I went, uh-oh, here we go. So I then start asking questions about their family structure. Tell me about your dad. Tell me about this. And that's when I started to really hone in on the fact that if a woman has a daddy problem, she's gonna constantly look for that father figure, and she probably goes through a lot of dudes to find that loving fatherly love she never got as a child. If she has mommy issues, it can be worse. Mommy issues, in my experience, have come across women trying to live their life as if their mom wanted to live that life, or whatever they thought their mom thought would have been best for them. And that's actually more harmful to a relationship, in my opinion, than daddy issues. So let's get back to the date. I'm starting to find out some things that are slight red flags. No long-term relationship, never been in a committed relationship or anything like that, has daddy issues. Let's see if I can just stick with it and figure her out. The date went pretty well otherwise, until I got to her apartment. That's right, I got lucky enough to get invited to her apartment. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. I'm a guy, she's attractive. Sure, she has some daddy issues. Likes eucalyptus candy. Yeah, like people from Argentina like eucalyptus candy. That's disgusting. Back to the date. So she says, look, my apartment is a little messy. I apologize. Now, everyone has their definition of messy. This wasn't messy, guys. This was borderline a hoarder's home. She has like a lot of dishes in the sink. Looks like they haven't been done like in a month. Gunk is piling up on them, and I was like, whoa, 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 this is crazy. So then I'm looking for this cat that I definitely smell. I smell this cat. So I'm looking, sure enough, there's the cat. Where's the cat? On her bed. Big no-no. No pets on beds, guys. No pets on beds. So I'm smelling this, and I'm just like, this is unreal. So she goes and starts lighting candles all over the place. And she just, everything's cool. And I'm like, wow, this is cool. Now, we had been walking for quite a bit, because she lives in a very nice area. So we walked around a lot. So she decides to go right into the bedroom. I thought I was going to go in the living room, watch a little TV. Maybe she'd go to the bathroom, take care of business. And I, see, I'm like, is this going to happen like this? I'm like, it's going to be a little tough for this to happen if I smell cat piss. And if I'm not like, I don't get the opportunity to get, freshen up, and neither does she. She just goes, come in here. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go into the bedroom. The rug is off-white color. And guess what I see? Piss spots all over the ground. Wow. This is now starting to become laughable. Hence why I'm telling you the story. So I'm like, there's cat piss. There's a spot. Obviously the cat's not spayed or neutered, and it's spraying. Is it on the bed? Who knows? But I smell it. Guys, I smell it. Anyway, she leads me onto the bedroom. She leads me onto the bed, and it is an IKEA bed. And if you know what bed I'm talking about, if you've been to IKEA, where it looks like there's a mattress on the ground, and it has these little boards all attached by a string that is technically the box spring. It wasn't placed right, and when I laid on it, I crushed it. All I heard was crunching. I went, oh my God. So now it became a whole thing to fix this thing while you're trying to get into the mood. Total mood killer. Cat piss. Eucalyptus smelling candy everywhere. Jenga dishes. But she's so attractive, and you're like, what are you going to do? I thought I was going to have trouble literally getting it up. I'm like, this is going to be a problem. Luckily, I was like, hey, my man, you're doing all right. Okay. So after I fixed the bed, I got in there. Now remember, this woman is very light skinned and she has very dark hair. Guess what I found? Everywhere, once clothing came off. Now, I am not Mr. Perfect. I definitely don't exude, sexiness. I'm a guy. I'm scruffy, but I don't have a lot of hair on my back. I don't have a lot of hair on my chest, and I trim appropriately. There was definitely no plans of lovemaking on her end, probably for a month. So it was jarring to see an unkept woman. So I wondered if she was kind of these free-spirited woman that just kind of doesn't do anything. And that was the point that I'm not going to go into detail because that's just going to be kind of stupid, right? But let's just say she was not ready to be intimate. Okay? Let's just say she was not ready to be intimate. And it's okay not to be ready. Just don't get naked and go, hey, bang this extremely hairy woman. he was not down with that, and I was not down with that. So, unfortunately, everything combined, the cat piss, the shitty, really gross apartment, the fact that she had daddy issues, the fact that she's never been in a long-term relationship. I could have been a dirtbag and just smashed it and not care. Some of you guys can absolutely see through that and smash away and not have an issue with it. I could not. I'm sorry, I could not. So that, I sort of blamed it on the fact that, oh, I'm having trouble, I'm nervous. I'm like, no, you're doing everything to make me not attractive to you or attracted to you. The apartment's messy. You're not ready. Place smells like cat piss. It just wasn't happening. So that was my first really good example of the type of people that are out there, where they're just not ready and they're just kind of going out there and meeting people. Like, I'm ready. Like, look, the moment I step outside of the house, I'm ready for whatever's going to happen. You got to bring protection with you. You got to bring, change of clothes. You never know. You just never know. You just never know. At this, at 42 years old, I am lucky enough that I can attract someone between the age of 25. I don't recommend dating younger than 30 or so because they just don't have enough life experience. But I'm lucky enough that I can attract someone at that age level. And I've dated all the way up to their 50s. And a lot of them are simply not ready to date. And I found a prime example of a woman that is very attractive, but definitely not ready to date in all aspects. Mentally, physically, her place looked like shit and smelled like piss. I wasn't down with that. Thought I'd give you guys a nice little story about my first date ever after getting out of a long-term relationship. And I have many more to tell you about. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later.